Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, Mr. President, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. I accept the Nobel Prize for Peace at a moment when 22 million Negroes of the United States of America are engaged in a creative battle to end the long night of racial injustice. Of course, these are the opening lines from Martin Luther King's acceptance speech on the occasion of the award of the Nobel Prize in Oslo, December 10th, 1964. There is one word we must pay special attention to, and that's the word creative. We must honor Martin Luther King's legacy by highlighting the use of a creative battle to fight injustice. And for the same reason, I would argue that Joseph and his brothers would also deserve to win the Nobel Peace Prize. You see, in this week's Torah portion, Vayechi, we read about Joseph and his brothers making peace, creative peace. Now, Joseph's brothers saw that their father had died, and they said, "Perhaps Joseph will hate us and repay us with all the evil that we did to him." So they instructed that Joseph be told via a messenger, "Your father gave orders before his death, saying, 'So shall you say to Joseph, please, please, forgive the spiteful deed of your brothers and for their sin they have done to you.'" And Joseph wept when these brothers finally came before him. And the brothers, now in front of him, they flung themselves down in front of Joseph, and they said, "We are ready to be your slaves." But Joseph said to them, "Don't be afraid, for am I God? Though you intended evil against me, God intended it for the good. It is clear as day that this was done to keep the great nation alive." This is outrageous. This is chutzpah. How dare these brothers lie by putting these false words in the mouth of their late father Jacob? And yet, according to our rabbinic tradition, there is no doubt that they were lying. The rabbis do not try to justify it by saying he didn't lie. Rather, they say the brothers certainly did lie. And not only that, they say it was good that they lied. It was good that they lied. This was not just a pathetic attempt to gain sympathy. Rather, in the Talmud, our Jewish encyclopedia of rabbinic wisdom, based on this story, on this episode, we learn that it is permissible to lie for the sake of peace. Not only is it permissible, it is a mitzvah, a positive command to alter the facts in order to create peace, to create shalom. It seems that this week we need to practice finding creative ways to create peace. We pray for peace, we talk about peace, we debate about what peace means, and yet the actual work of making peace is complicated. It's pretty messy. The chances of success aren't always so high. Worse yet, you yourself might get entangled and make the situation worse and get embroiled in the conflict yourself. Our rabbis remind us that if you know for sure that your input will not help, stay out of it. That's a mitzvah too. Stay out of it. It is an imperative not to get involved. In such a case, we shouldn't even feel guilty about not doing anything, nor should we feel tempted to get involved. Rather, we have to resist the urge to make peace. However, if there is a chance that your involvement might increase peace, especially if there's no one else who can do it besides you, then this is your responsibility. This is your calling. This is your mitzvah. It is a holy task. Bakesh shalom veradfehu, in the words of King David, to seek peace and to pursue peace. And finally, if you are going to pursue this peace, then be creative about it and how you go about doing it. Remember that you are empowered to take a creative license to achieve that peace. Peace is more an art than a science, and you can employ so many tools. You need playfulness sometimes, reverse psychology, a gentle touch, or a simple smile. Other times you may need resilient listening, sincerity, open questions, or thoughtful reframing of the situation. As Martin Luther King concludes his speech, he declares, "Sooner or later, all the people of the world will have to discover a way to live together in peace, and thereby transform this pending cosmic elegy into a creative psalm of brotherhood." Into a creative psalm of brotherhood. We don't know when there will be this world peace, but we do know that we are given this gift of Shabbat, of the Sabbath, so that each week we can experience this creative peace. My friends, sooner or later is here, and at least for the next 24 hours, let's go about this. Let's wish each other a hearty and sincere and playful Shabbat Shalom.